Welcome to Voice of the Inland Empire, your weekly adventure into the who, what, where, and why of our local communities. And today's show is a wonderful one. We are going to be meeting Roger Malinowski. He and his wife are saving the Huck Finn Jubilee. This is an annual bluegrass festival that's been going on in our region for years and almost didn't this year. But Roger and his wife stepped forward, they've saved the festival, and we're going to be hearing about what they're going to be doing to make this year's festival even bigger and better than years past. It's going to be a marvelous discussion, one you will not want to miss. And when you have a chance, check out our website, voiceoftheinlandempire.com, where you can find the days and times and locations the show can be seen, or you can just watch them online and check it out. We have a great show coming up for you, so don't go away. We will be right back. We're about to meet a gentleman who has quickly become one of my personal heroes. Roger Malinowski, who is the new proprietor of my favorite event, the Huck Finn Jubilee. And Roger, I tell you that you're my hero because, as many people know, and I'm sure some don't, the Huck Finn Jubilee has, I don't know, over a 20-year history.
41, I think.
Wow.
This will be the 41st Huck Finn Jubilee.
And it almost wasn't.
And it almost wasn't. Yeah, isn't that a shame?
Yeah, and it would have been. I mean, the city of Ontario was the last group that were running it.
That's
we'll
correct.
talk a little bit about the history. But after last year, they said, no, this just doesn't fit with what we do. We're not going to do it anymore. And I think you could hear a national, if not worldwide, sigh. Oh, man.
It might have been me, mostly, I think.
Well, and me
it.
too.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Me too. I've been going since my kids were little, when it was up in Mojave Narrows. And when word got out that someone had picked it up, and I didn't know you, and I didn't know who, but I can tell you when that word got out, a lot of people smiled.
Good. That makes me smile.
Roger, let's start, and I know that you've done your research and you've been going for years. Tell us a little bit about the festival, how it began. It was started by Don Tucker and his family 40 some odd years ago up in Mojave Narrows. Give us a little history and how you ended up running it.
I'd be happy to. Thanks for having me. So, yeah, Don Tucker and his family started this festival back in Mojave Narrows, as you said, many years ago. Successfully ran it and grew it for, I think, 37 years. Unfortunately, Don passed, and his family took it over, ran it. They moved it to Ontario. I think it was 2013, the Guasti, yeah, and ran it there. And then the city of Ontario took it over from the family and ran it for 3 years themselves, and found, like you said, it was not meeting their goals. We attended in 2016, and my wife and I love music festivals. In our younger years, used to attend many festivals all over the country, but you know, you get married, you have a kid, it gets hard to get out, and sometimes festivals can be a little much for families. We had a 2-year-old at that time, and so when we found this festival by chance, in Ontario, which is kind of like our backyard. We live down the street, down the 10. And we attended in 2016, we just absolutely fell in love with it. It was everything that we loved about music festivals. It was great music, family events, there was activities for the kids. She painted one of her first pictures there, my daughter. You know, she was playing in the park that's there. There's a water park, there's lakes for fishing. It was just an amazing event, and we were so looking forward to not only returning in 2017, but bringing our friends and other families and people that we know, and we're really hyping it up. When we found out that they were not supporting it anymore, it was actually when we were going to buy tickets for 2017 that we found this out. We took one of those sides. You know, we had a really hard time with it, because here it was 40 years in existence. We just found out about it, just got excited about it, and it was going away. So we work for an event marketing company, so we felt like we were...
So that's what you do for a living?
That's correct.
So you do event marketing?
We do, yeah. So for a company called B Corps in Los Angeles, and events are our world, you know, and so we felt we had a unique opportunity.
So now, is this Huck Finn B Corps, or is it just you and your wife?
This is us. This is just us.
Really?
Yeah,
Have you
we're venturing out.
So by yourselves, have you ever done anything like this before?
Not to this scale. No, we have not.
Wow.
This is really our first attempt. You know, we're just a family, you know, love this festival and had a great time, and don't really know anything like it around here. And so it was important to us that somebody continue it. And we looked at each other and said, you know, I think we can do that. I think we could figure this out.
Now you all know why he's my new hero. No, that is really awesome. And the things that you said, I think it's important for our viewers to recognize. This is truly a family-friendly, a family-encouraged festival.
That's right.
It's a place where if you bring your kids, you don't have to think twice.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, there's plenty of activities for the kids to do that I would welcome parents to join in. I remember a painting booth, and I remember some of the activities and raffles and
the whole kids area.
The kids zone, absolutely. We're bringing a lot of the kids stuff.
They had mining or panning for minerals, and they had the coolest thing. I'm a big kid. Was the blacksmith area.
Yeah, it's very
where
cool.
they actually were heating up the metal, and you could learn to pound and make. It was
little history tied in with fun. You know, you really can't beat it. I couldn't find it anywhere else. So we intend to keep a lot of that as much as the same as possible. We do have a lot of kids activities, family activities coming back for 2018, along with the great music, along with the camping, along with fishing and contests and raffles.
Well, and that's the other thing, is the camping. You have a huge, enormous area for tent camping.
That's right.
But also a separate area now for RV camping. It is dry camping. But if I remember in years past, you know, midway through, you guys had the truck come through.
Absolutely.
They could refresh the water and do the dump. But over the years, I have met families that have been coming there from across the country, in some cases from around the world, for 20, 30 years. Yeah. It's their family vacation every year.
I love it. We've been seeing a lot of that on social media, people chiming in and being really grateful that it's coming back and saying things and tagging each other and calling it out and sharing it. And so the response has been really positive, so we're excited.
And what's cool is, even aside from the festival, the park has a lot to do. So you were talking about that.
Right.
There's fishing there, there's a zero depth water play area, there's playgrounds, lots of open space for the kids to run themselves ragged, so maybe they'll sleep at night.
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly.
That's right.
And then, you know, there's one of my favorites about any festival is the food. Tell me about the food.
You know, when we were there, lines of food trucks, bring them back. Let's do it. Let's have all the good food and good eats you could have. We'll do our own concessions, a couple items on the menu there, beer, wine, you know, flowing, drinks, whatever you want. So I think it's going to be a really great event.
Now, an event like this takes a lot of people. Are you guys looking for volunteers?
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, you can volunteer through our website, huckfinn.com. And there's a place you can fill out just a quick little form, and we have a wonderful volunteer coordinator that will reach out and put you to work, and we'll get you some passes to the event, and we really appreciate anybody who's willing to do that.
So how would you like to be able to attend this festival for free and get to help the people that are there have even more fun?
And help us.
And help this couple who saved the event make sure they have a successful event so that they can, you know, kind of keep doing it.
Keep doing it, yeah.
That would be nice.
Another 40 years.
Well,
yeah.
Good. I want to see you doing this when you're in your 80s and 90s. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, I want to spend some time talking about your music lineup. Because what a lot of people, and I didn't know this till I started going, bluegrass is kind of the mom and dad of modern music. Certainly it led to rock, and it has a lot of offshoots.
Absolutely.
And I didn't know that I would even like bluegrass until I went for the first time. And you know, there's old-fashioned bluegrass, there's more modern bluegrass, just like in all of the music.
That's right.
And it's great music. I love it.
Well, I'm anxious to talk about it.
All right, so don't go away. More of this conversation is yet to come. We will be right back. Hi, I'm Ron Stark, known as the voice of the Inland Empire. We've been on the air for almost 20 years, interviewing and discussing important people, places, and things in the IE. Our show was recently covered by Inland Empire magazine. Check us out on Charter Cable or visit our website at voiceoftheinlandempire.com or on Facebook or YouTube by searching Voice of the Inland Empire. We are back and coming to you from one of my favorite places in the world, Charlie's Stars and Stripes in historic downtown Upland. This is a wonderful place. They have something going on here almost every night of the week. They have specials for lunch and specials for dinner, and on the weekends, always live music. In fact, quite often you'll find me sitting at the bar having dinner and a drink, and if you do, come by and say hello. Today we are chatting with Roger Malinowski, who is the new proprietor of the Huck Finn Jubilee. And as we discussed in the first segment, this festival's been going on for years. You will be basically the third entity doing it. And you've got some big shoes to fill, from the Tucker family slash the county to the city of Ontario. But you come with a background, you and your wife, in event planning.
I do.
So what's going to make this year's festival bigger and better than ever?
Well, I think another deeper focus on those family activities again, really having some programming for families, for kids, things like that. We're bumping that up. Always great food, always great beer, always great wine, always great music. One of the things that we're excited about is even though that you're going to see fewer bands on the lineup, you're going to be able to spend a lot more time with those bands. So rather than a typical fest where you get a half-hour set or 25-minute set, some of these bands are going to be playing an hour, hour and a half sets. So
see, and I noticed that because I'm not a big music festival goer. I just discovered this years ago.
Sure.
And it always seemed odd. About the time I was getting warmed up with a band and getting into them, they're striking the set, and I got like a 20, 30-minute gap before the next band.
By the time you go get a beer, it's like, where I missed my ticket.
So I love that idea of longer sets.
It's something that we're trying. I think that it's quality over quantity for us. This is music that we love. These are our bands. If you see that name on the list and you want to see them, you want to see them. You want to spend some time. So you want to hear those favorite songs. And so we're kind of just trying this out and seeing how it goes. I really think that the quality will beat quantity in this. So. And
who are some of the bands, if you can say, that you've got booked?
So headlining, we've got bands like Yonder Mountain String Band. We have Infamous String Dusters. We have the Cleverleys. We have Front Country. We've got Joe Mullins and the Radio Ramblers. So among others, I think we've got 18 total performances happening over the 3 days. And a very special performance on Saturday night where we're basically going to host what we call the Huck Finn House Party. And it will be members of various bands that play throughout the day and the weekend coming together for a one-of-a-kind show, just jamming on stage together. So it'll be really special.
Gosh.
So that's another thing that we're doing to increase that value for sure.
And something that I don't know if you're going to be doing it, I hope you are, that happened in years past, every year past, is in the RV area for those that want to bring out their rigs and spend the whole weekend.
The pickers, the jammers, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's a whole pavilion over there in the RV camping spot that's absolutely perfect for like a little decor and some lighting and an ability for somebody to just bring an instrument and meet some friends and play some songs. I love that about this community. It's all about the music. It's all about being together. It's all about having fun and playing music. You can't beat this community.
And when you talk about community, I have to say some of the friendliest, most normal, whatever that means, people that you'll meet. I mean, I go every year and, when I'm sitting out on the grass watching whoever's sitting next to me, you strike up a conversation. Oh, who are you? Where are you from? What do you do?
That happened to us. We, young family just out and about and didn't know a soul around us, but sure enough, you get to talking, you get to cheersing, you get to singing along and dancing along and having a good conversation. It's really what the festival environment should be.
Yeah, and people have heard about some other festivals that maybe get a little unruly, but this is truly a family, with a real focus on family.
we are a family. So this is partly for us. This is partly for for our people in a way. It's not a great term to use, but the families, the people that want to go and have something that's their own, that they can feel safe and it's convenient. And I was telling you a story off camera about we brought our 2-year-old daughter. We forgot diapers because we're new parents, so that's going to happen. But sure enough, we took a lift over to the 7-Eleven and got some diapers, came right back in, barely missed a set. So there's a lot to love about the convenience aspect of this. It's in a residential kind of area, so it's safe. There's just a lot to love about it.
Well, that's the nice thing about Guasti is it's right there. I think that's Ontario. It's right there in the city of Ontario, and literally adjacent to the park is a little strip mall area with a convenience store, fast food.
It's in the middle of a city, but you'd never know it once you're in the park. There's trees and camping and lakes and fishing, so it's this gem in this city, and we love it. So we're really excited to host it back there.
All right, so we've got some great music. We have family activities, great food. I know one of the things that's been a hit in years past, I don't know if you're redoing this, but there's a music store in Claremont that was partnered with, and the kids could bring their own instruments or borrow and learn how to play and put on a performance at the end of the festival.
We're absolutely looking into that as we speak. So we're in talks with Claremont again. We loved that aspect of it. Love the opportunity to get some kids on that big of a stage in front of that many people. That's a special thing. So we're very hopeful that that's going to happen again. We're doing our best to make it happen.
And we covered it on location last year. And if anyone goes to our website, voiceoftheinlandempire.com, and into the archives, they can actually see last year's festival, but see the kids when they were doing their final performance.
Isn't that great?
And the kids,
I'm hoping my daughter will pick up a banjo or something. That'd be great. She's almost 5 now, so who knows?
Yeah, and I play the tissue paper comb.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's that and the kazoo. And that's about the limit of my musical expertise.
I've been known to play the radio myself.
Exactly, and that's about it. All right, so if someone wants more information about the festival, they want to order tickets, which are going fast. If they want to order a campsite, which is really going fast.
Limited, very limited.
Or they want to volunteer, which everyone should. Just volunteer for a day. I mean, you're going to love it. How do they go about doing any or all of that?
Best place to get the information is huckfinn.com. We also have a presence on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all at Huck Finn. So check us out on all those. We're posting videos and performances, not only from our festival, but of the bands that are playing our festival from other festivals. So if you're not familiar with some of the music that you're seeing in the lineup, check them out. They're all up there, and you can really get a good sense of what you're going to see. And
I saw one of your more recent posts on Facebook, and I think it may have even been the first. And oh my gosh, within moments,
it was great.
The comments of people just thrilled and excited.
It was overwhelming. Yeah. It was exciting. I mean, it was validation that we really did something special, and that's near and dear. I mean, we may not have everything 100% perfect. Bear with us. We're a family. We're doing our best. We're dangerous in terms of knowing what we're doing to a certain degree, so we're excited about that. But we just want you to come back, have some fun, listen to some great music, and have a great time.
All right. So do that. Visit huckfinn.com. Either volunteer or buy your tickets. You know, we all talk about the big corporate America taking over everything. Well, guess what? This is a young couple who are risking a lot to save an event that they and many love. Let's support them in doing that. So check out huckfinn.com. And Roger, thank you so much for joining us, and I'll be there covering the event.
I appreciate it. You're welcome anytime. Bring your banjo.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Jaw harp.
But if you want to clear everyone out real quick, have me sing.
11 o'clock we shut down.
Yeah,
so
just have me sing.
Okay.
Yeah, people leave or their ears bleed, one of the two. Don't go away. We will be right back. Voice of the Inland Empire is on location again this week with our very favorite health and wellness guru, Dr. Ray Peavy, at the Arcadia Chiropractic Center in Arcadia. And Dr. Peavy, last week we touched on diabetes as one of the leading causes of neuropathy, but you also have specific treatments that you do for diabetes itself.
Really, it comes down to teaching the patients how to eat properly. A lot of the foods that are being used today are prepackaged. They have a lot of preservatives. They have a lot of fillers and flavor enhancers. And what this does is it creates a lot of acidity, a lot of inflammation in the body. So to coin the phrase, inflammation is your body's way of causing disease. So the diet approaches that we use for diabetes are designed to lower the inflammation, and that helps with the neuropathy too, because blood vessels get really sticky, they get plaqued more with inflammation, and consequently there's decreased circulation.
So you could actually start with the neuropathy treatment to start opening up those blood vessels, and then through you learn a better, healthier way of eating, healthier lifestyle overall, I suppose, that could lead to a decrease and maybe even the diabetes going away?
Absolutely. We actually start the diet regimen at the same time with the neuropathy regimen, so we can get going right out of the gate immediately. And then we see a lot of patients see their cholesterol medications also reduced in this program, but the diabetic medication is reduced. Some of it is even eliminated altogether.
Wow.
So.
You know, and so much of it just has to do with our lifestyles today. Most of us lead really crummy lifestyles, at least in terms of health.
Right, and you know, just to expound upon that, it means that we're always looking for a quick and easy meal, not taking the time to actually make real food, and that's really where the stumbling block is.
Oh, you mean my having fast food for dinner every night isn't the best diet?
Well, you know, in a pinch, maybe we can get by once in a while.
But probably not every day.
Right.
But you're right, and I think for most of us who honestly were raised that way, it's having someone like you that can guide them to a new, better way of eating and exercising and maintaining a better level of health. And I think, truthfully, it is a little more effort.
It really is. I mean, you put in and what you get out of it. And I really tell my patients, you're also setting an example for your kids. You know, kids today, obesity is a big problem with young kids, and actually diabetes is becoming more and more a common finding with young children. So it's important that the family inherits these eating habits, not just the person coming in here for the treatments or for the diet advice.
So if someone's here for diabetes treatment, neuropathy, all of the above, how does that coordinate with their medical care?
Well, we make sure that the medical doctor is aware of some of the things that we're doing. We always want to be in that circle and not just run rogue and do things that may be counterintuitive to what the doctor is also trying to do. But we also want to make sure that we understand the medications they're on. Metformin is one of the most common diabetic medications, but have regular blood tests to substantiate that what we're doing is actually working, and consequently that helps the medical doctor feel very comfortable with our approach.
Nice. And I can't imagine too many doctors going, no, I don't want you teaching them to eat better. You know? So it seems like it's one of those cases where Western and maybe more Eastern traditions can come together for the common good of the individual.
Well, absolutely. I think the medical doctors mean well. They were taught to use medications to alleviate symptoms. We're trying to go one step further and treat the cause. And using diet is really addressing the causation of what's causing diabetes to run rampant, or even in cases of cholesterol to run high in individuals.
All right, so Dr. Peavy, if someone wants more information about diabetes, neuropathy, or any of the things that we've talked about, how do they get a hold of you?
Well, they can certainly find us on our website at arcadiachiropracticcenter.com. Our phone number here, by the way, if they'd like to reach out to us, is 626-447-4442. The staff is more than happy to talk and answer your questions. And by the way, I can even take a phone call too.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your wealth of knowledge and wisdom about healthy living and lifestyles. And don't go away. We will be right back. What's Upland is on location again, and today we are joining Matt Shane from G&G Lampworking right here in historic downtown Upland. And, you know, I got to be honest with you. I've been looking forward to this interview for some time because I am just enamored with what I'll call the magic of glass blowing. How you guys get the shapes and the colors and it's amazing. So tell me a little bit about your history. What got you into this? Most kids don't grow up going, I want to work with glass. What got you into it, and a little bit about your store here?
So originally, I started when I was about 18 years old, looking around, asking as many friends as possible, you know, where can I start doing something like this? And the main reason I started was just because I'm a super pothead. I mean, you can tell by what I make, but, you know, always walk into a shop and I would ask, like, how does this stuff get made? I have no clue. And eventually I met this guy named Chris Clark, who actually is now my manager here at G&G Lampworking. He started me off on 4th of July about 5 years ago, actually, today. And ever since then, I've just been slowly working my way up this ladder. I've gone to Northern California, Berkeley, all the way up to Seattle, Las Vegas, Colorado, Hawaii, everywhere in between, learning from as many different glass blowers as possible. And then once I was done around up there, because up there there's glass blowers every couple hundred square feet.
Really?
Compared to down here where it's almost non-existent. So why be a small fish in a big pond? I'd rather be the big fish in the small pond.
Absolutely.
And have my own shop down here. So I came down here about 3 years ago, opened up my shop, went through as much red tape with the city as anyone wants to deal with, and now we're here.
So I see a variety of items. You mentioned cannabis, and I see that you make items for that, but that's not all that you make.
Absolutely not. Although I will admit that the smoking devices are the main seller here, we do like to do other things such as goblets, staffs, pendants, marbles.
I see some awards.
Absolutely. The first place award is for my Chloronica orchid. Sorry, it's a word I made up. It won first place at the non-functional show down at Pacific Art Glass last year in September.
Wow.
And the third place winner is third place in functional glass art, which means it's a pipe. And it won third place in its functional category.
Now, along with making things here, are you just and I don't mean just, but do you only distribute or do you sell? If someone was to walk into the store, could they buy something from you?
Absolutely. We sell to anyone who would walk in. Obviously, you need to be 21 or older to buy anything functional. But if you're younger, we will still sell you a pendant or a sculpture piece as long as it's something that, you know, isn't going to come back to bite us.
Now, what if I had something in my mind? Could you guys create it?
Absolutely. Within reason, of course. There's obviously limits to what we can do. But within reason, yes, we can pretty much create anything your mind can come up with.
That is amazing. And I just may do that. I mean, and I'd love to have more time with you in the future to understand how you get the different colors and how they're mixed and blended. And it's just an amazing art form. For anyone that wants to come by and check you out, give us your address, and then do you have a website?
I do not have a website at the moment, but we are working on one. It should be ready within a month or two's time. But our address here is 223 North 1st Avenue in Upland, California, zip code 91786.
All right, and if you want to get a hold of them until they get a website, visit our website at voiceoftheinlandempire.com, and we'll make sure to get you in touch with Matt and his team. Matt, I'm already thinking about what I'm going to have you custom make for me.
Well, I look forward to making it for you. So once you're ready, just let me know and I will get right on it.
I will do that. And thank you for watching another episode of What's Upland.